Welcome to the Roger Report Live. On the entertainment side, we have checked out this new interesting series called The Institute. Okay. It's by MGM. Done checked out the first episode. I guess I should say this is something that Stephen King is involved in. So no telling what's gonna happen in this. But as I checked out episode one, I mean, this is the type of show that really kind of pulls you in. This is an extremely interesting show already, just after the first episode. But I am Roger. If you do not know, I am here with Shark, and I am here with Jado. And I'm gonna say, Shark, what's your first impressions of this new show that's out here?
Very, very interesting. It gives me the feel. It gives me a feeling of like Stranger Things from Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like real a whole bunch of weird like what's that telepathic and telekinetic stuff going on and all of that stuff. So I'm definitely ready to see where it goes by the end of the episode, end of the series.
Okay, Jado, what you got on this one, brother?
Man, I'm a Stephen King geek, man. I've read several of his novels throughout the years, man. So I'm really into it. Yeah, very interesting. It's like sci-fi, and I don't. And to be honest, man, when I say sci-fi, I guess I have to put that in quotations marks because a lot of this stuff could be really, really, somewhat true, But yeah, the sci-fi, the mystery, the suspense. Yeah, it really drew me in, and I'm interested in seeing the rest of the series.
Now, now I'm gonna say, y'all, what grabbed me about this, and of course, I got more questions and answers at this point, but only checked out the first episode. But I will say this: I didn't expect a dude to just come up missing in the first episode, but he also a primary character. That's a little different. You can start a TV show and somebody come up missing, but they're not necessarily the primary character. Maybe they just a character people looking for or something like that. So you got a new show. Who knows if things get a second or third or fourth season, but you're always trying to plan for things to go further because people like to make money. Hollywood loves making money, so they want more. So now in the first episode, I had to realize this kid done got snatched.
Yeah.
And when you think about the fact that he got snatched, what the heck did your parents do about this?
Wait, I don't think I don't. It's crazy that you even asked that question because think about it. They got his whole room. He wakes up in the new facility and his whole room is literally there. So I don't know what happened to the parents because remember in the beginning before they ran in the house, they was like, "What if the parents wake up?" And they was like, "We just might have to eliminate them." So this got me thinking about a lot of stuff. Like, damn, what happened to the parents? Because how do you just take a person's, you know, you ever help somebody move before?
Absolutely.
So you can't sleep through that. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm gonna say this. It makes it extremely interesting because we don't actually know what happened with the parents. Brother, well, not a brother, but the young man is a very analytical, smart young man. Questions do come up. And anybody that's a critical thinker, he asks some questions that will come rapidly to a critical thinker. First, who in charge? Where am I at? Can I talk to my parents? Why? Because I need to know that my parents agree to this thing. Because I don't even know where I'm at. Do my parents understand that I don't know that I don't know where I'm at? Did they agree to this? Did y'all sell me out? Because y'all, I'm gonna tell you this: when that man asked about what's supposed to happen, and she gave him this rough plan, you'll be here for a few years, you'll do some important work, but we're gonna wipe your memory. So what am I doing? Am I waking up in a coma because I done been here 4, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever the case is? Do I just go back home to my parents and wake up like I was in a coma? Like, what we doing here, man?
Well, the smartest question he asked was, how are you wiping everybody's mind? Because he's like, I know so and so and so and so. Like, so you wiping everybody's mind? I think they just gonna kill him.
That's what I'm thinking too. I mean, they it's like a series of it's a lot of brainwashing going on. Like even Roger, you just earlier said snatched, right, or kidnapped, or whatever words you want to
Yeah.
use. But there they were like, hey, we don't like to use that word. You guys are recruited and you're going to help the world, man. We're going to use you to help the world, to like kind of save the world. And if you notice throughout the whole institute or the compound that they're held in, they got all these posters around the place saying like, hey, you're helping the world, or shots for dots, or dots that'll help you get closer to home, and just all these these catchphrases that are kind of trying to ease their mind and make it seem like they're doing something good for the greater good of humanity. I think that's what they said. So yeah, it was very, very, very interesting, man.
Now the poster said, no shots for dots.
I thought it said shots for dots.
Because remember, once they trying to get them. They trying to get them to their like a top potential, so they could go to another facility. Is what they saying in the first episode. Because remember, the girl was like, they got to hold the back room or something like that.
The back half. You
got
the front half, and you get to the back half. Now I'm gonna say this though, and see, you know what? And this why it's kind of slick. Because when I hear this whole thing about I'm gonna help humanity, right? I'm on this ride to help humanity. I really can't communicate with the outside world. My parents supposedly know I'm here, but I can't verify that because I ain't talked to them. They ain't told me we reached a deal. And guess what? After I help the world, you tell me flat out, we're going to wipe your memory and you ain't going to remember what's going on. So basically, you telling me it's going to be like I was in a coma because you're going to wipe my memory. So I ain't going to remember nothing for way back when I finally get done. And my thing is, it's slick because they're doing this to children. Because once you explain that to me, why don't I go upside your head? That's all I'm thinking. When I heard it explained to him, so I'm like, okay, I'm putting this together in my mind. So yeah, you've been in a coma for however many years, you got to participate because that's what it's going to be like when you wake up. Where's the financial compensation? Why would I agree to do this thing? Yeah, technically I can help the world, but I don't know how I'm supposed to help the world. I didn't even hear your ideas that I even agreed that whatever we're doing is going to actually help the world. So why wouldn't I just go upside your head right now? But because it's a kid, it's more workable.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Like they're more influential, they're smaller, and you remember you got what's his name, Mr. Stackhouse, man. You have some goons, man. I know Mr. Stackhouse himself was like old or whatever, the head of security, but you had you got some goons there that are physically harm you if you don't do what they say, and also they offered them a lot of trinkets, like they could roam around the compound and eat all types of junk food, all types of night and stuff like that, man. So they kind of
cigarettes.
Yeah, smoke cigarettes, drink. Right. I think alcohol too.
Yep.
So they giving people the trinkets to where they can deal with it a little better, and plus they're young.
And like it's easier to contain children than it is to contain grown men. You're gonna need a whole lot more security, which is going to mean a whole lot more people who know what's going on to a certain extent, which means a whole lot of more people that could tell or whistle blow and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, I mean, what it does make sense that they're targeting children, because I couldn't hear nobody tell me this stuff and I not go upside your head. Like that lady would have died in that room explaining what happens here. Exactly. I'm probably going to beat the hell out of you. I'm going to at least beat you till you thinking about dying. Okay. Real talk, because you didn't even tell me what the compensation package was. Now, people will do things for money. Would I want to lose years of my life over some money? Not really. But if it's gonna help my family, yeah, I can understand that. If you're gonna give me enough money where I'm good and a lot of my family, my close family members, are gonna be good too, I could sacrifice something for the sake of the family being good. But without that, I got to beat the brakes off you. And Stackhouse, as you say, goon. But I think about all these kids getting their ear plugged. They plugging these kids' ear. The kid refuses at first, and then get the taste slapped out of his mouth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't do that to no grown man.
No.
That kid was like, okay, well, maybe I will sit down and go and let you just stick this thing in my ear. But yeah, I mean, that it's and I'm just assuming that's going to be some type of tracking device. It's probably some type of piece that's also going to allow the staff to hear them in any conversation they want to check in on. That's what I believe, that whatever that is in their ear has the ability to do. That's going to be my guess at this particular point, because you want to know about the whereabouts of these kids and you really want to know what they're up to. So I'm assuming you can dip into their conversation whenever you want, or why would you attach something to their ear?
See, I didn't even think about that, but that might be exactly what that's for. Either tracking or to listen to them or to listen to them.
Both. I'm gonna go with both.
I think it's both, and to probably monitor their brain waves and whatever type of electrical signals with their brain, man, because they're really trying to tap into these children, man, to get their whatever powers that they have. And also, all I want to say, when they kidnap these people, another thing we got to consider. I know they didn't put on.
Jada, we don't use that word around here.
I'm sorry. Which one?
I'm joking. Kidnap.
Oh, my man. when they were recruited, you know what I mean? As they tried to say in there. Hey, man, these people got access to a whole bunch of drugs and stuff that can kind of subdue you and have you kind of fuzzy. Like, it can kind of like limit your will to like fight too. You know what I mean? Like, these people are experimenting with these kids, and they playing with drugs and injecting them and making them inhale stuff. So, man, a lot of that, they got a whole package to kind of keep people subdued so they can do what they want to do with them.
And they said the youngest kid they seen so far was only 10. So if you get a hold of a 10-year-old, you can normalize a lot of this stuff easy to a 10-year-old.
Yes, indeed.
You know? So,
but my thing is just like, where is the pushback and people coming up missing? You know what I mean? Like, they must really have some ill connections, government wise and media wise, to the point where it ain't even no missing persons posters put up, etc., etc. We don't know that yet because we only in the first episode. But yeah, that was kind of strange to me. So I'm thinking of like all the kids that just come up missing every year.
Well, let me throw this in here. This is gonna be cold, but it's real. Nobody cares. You're snatching kids from all across the country. You're not just snatching kids in a certain area that would raise eyebrows. It's just missing kids who happen to be somewhat gifted, because that's what we know about the kids so far. They're either telepaths or they're telekinetic. And these folks wants to study whatever it is that they can do. Maybe they're trying to reach the human potential of these different things and see what else these kids can do, because these are quote unquote special kids. So these people are going to pop up randomly all over the country. So you'll never have a missing person issue. There'll just be another missing kid. So the parents could be going through the whole work, calling the whole family up. But if they don't know who took their kid, and it's a good possibility the one we saw, the main character, at least for right now, this dude's probably in a whole different state. He ain't gonna get found, and he just gonna go under a pile of missing children.
But think about it. You wake up, right, and you go to check on your kid, and his whole room is empty.
Not necessarily empty. They could have just bought duplicate stuff.
Oh.
I think they left us a little hint of what happened to Luke's parents, man. The main character's parents. They didn't say it directly, but they left us a little hint.
Well, I mean, they're saying they might have to go and take them out if they wake them up. Yeah, I mean, that's always possible. I'm not saying they're alive. I'm not saying they dead, but I'm not saying they're alive. Mm-hmm. You know. But, you know, until they tell us what it is, I'm just thinking all the reasonable things. But even if their parents are alive, because you're snatching kids from across the country, it's never going to be a real alert. And the thing is, Luke 14. Cops going to tell you, look, man, I understand he missing, but bro big enough to walk. He big enough to go hitchhiking and all kinds of stuff. Ain't no telling where that kid is. They ain't going to put much into looking for him. Yeah. You know, I mean, come on, man. It's a bunch of missing kids out there. And I'm not saying that to be funny or anything. I'm saying this is just a reality of the world we live in. There are a bunch of missing kids who never get found. So they'll be blended into those missing children in this particular universe.
I could dig it.
Yeah, it's no real reason for excitement unless the kids are coming up missing by a big number in a small area. But these are just gifted kids from around the country, possibly around the world.
Yeah, possibly from around the world.
So I don't see anybody really looking for them.
And then you had the young black girl there when Luke got there. It seemed like she was pretty comfortable with everything.
Well, I see her as adjusting, and then maybe the writers are doing that on purpose because they say black people adjust to things better than anybody else, and maybe they're actually throwing that in there. Maybe they're not even realizing they putting it in there. But obviously she's well adjusted because she kissing a random white boy, trying to give him chicken pox just so he can stay in the same area a little bit longer. So now my thing is that's definitely a fear of the unknown. Because why does she want him to stay in front half instead of going to back half a little bit quicker? Well, I'm gonna give you the chicken pox, if you ain't never had it before, so you can stay here a little bit longer. Why do we even think that way? So, and I do understand there is a fear of the unknown, and obviously these kids don't know what's going on.
Yeah, this is a weird show right here.
So right now, Nick the superstar to me. Now he's still a little bit off because he won't cooperate and take the tokens. My thing is, unless he's purposely not cooperating so he don't go to back half, because that could be part of his strategy. And maybe he was doing that so he could meet the right kid, because he did say, "Are you the kid I'm looking for?" Somebody smart enough to know we really ain't supposed to be here. It ain't all good, and ain't nobody coming to help us. So he could be not cooperating just to stay in that area until he met the right kid. But I think he, to me, he on the right track.
Yeah, that's the most rebellious out of all of them.
Hey, fellas, when was it? I think it was Mr. Stackhouse met with the lady that actually snatched up Luke, the main character.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of left a hint there about his parents, about how the mission that they did in snatching him up, kidnapping him.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did say it was a botched mission some kind of way. They did say that.
Right. I mean, they didn't directly say it. I'm just saying, I'm assuming that.
No. She said the way the mission, it went the way it went because we moved too fast. To me, that's saying we botched the mission.
Right.
So yeah, it wasn't direct, but there is a question on how botched was the mission.
That's good. That's good observation, because I remember that scene, but I didn't catch it like y'all caught it. So that's good.
And I think this is why it's going to be, I believe it's going to be a very fantastic show, regardless of what direction they go in. When we see that woman get killed and we see how she got killed, okay, this organization is not to be played with. They already sold it up. They ready for whatever. I mean, you gave somebody a girlfriend because you was thinking she may be going in a direction where she might feel comfortable enough to tell somebody one day. So you literally gave her a girlfriend, because that's what they did. At some point, she met a woman who was already paid by them. You know what I'm saying? This was obviously, with the way the killing went down, this obviously was not somebody that they found and say, "Hey, since you kicking it with her, do this for us." No, this is somebody who came in on a mission and did enough with this mission to figure out and let this other woman get comfortable enough and figure out, oh no, we're gonna have to take her out. So I handled it. Don't worry about it. So if they doing stuff like that, there's no telling how big this is. Is it government attached? How this is gonna go down in the future. So I'm definitely super excited to see where they're gonna go with the rest of this stuff. But I mean, this was a heck of a first episode. I will say that. When it comes down to first episode, this was a heck of a first episode. And to watch this and not get pulled in, I'm just gonna say you a strong brother. You a strong sister if you don't get pulled into this one, because it's definitely a grab you by the collar type of situation going on, if you ask me. What say you guys?
No, 100% agree. And seems like also we got another, I guess you can consider him a protagonist or something. The guy Tim, the dude, the former police officer, former veteran, military vet. that kind of just moved to the town. You know what I mean? He's
Mm-hmm.
new to the town, and he just picked up a job at the police department. He's just doing they call him a night knocker. You know, where he's just walking around doing security rounds and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and I definitely want to see how he's gonna play into the institution
Yeah.
because I'm thinking the institution obviously has at least one town under control or anything close to their facility. The members close to their facility, maybe they got a good amount of control over that. So, and then you got your conspiracy theorists out there because on the show there is some guy who is a conspiracy theorist. That's what I picked up from what the lady was saying. He's a conspiracy theorist, but you know what? He hits the nail on the head sometimes. That's what I caught from her, the old lady. So this is set up perfect. They got everything they need, for a fantastic season. I will say that this should be solid no matter where this goes.
Does the town, so like the town that the retired cop dude is in, is the town in? I'm trying to figure out, is the whole town in on everything too? Because it's like, how y'all got a town with only 4 police officers? And what's the thing about the door knocker thing? Like, I never heard of nothing like that in my life.
Well, I'm just thinking it's a small town, Mayberry-ish, type of deal, just a really small town.
Copy, all right.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, there are some really small towns out there. Sometimes if you have city life too much, you forget there's really small towns out there, in places in this country.
With Stephen King, it's always some attachment to I think he's from Maine or some northeastern state, very high northeastern state, and he always has some attachment to a small town. And I think Maine, if I'm not mistaken, it's always some attachment to a small town in Maine.
Well, my thing is, if you're gonna lock people up against their will and it don't get out, you probably wouldn't do that in a small town. That's just where to me, a small town is it just makes far more sense to do any criminal activity in where you're gonna have some hostages at some point, because everybody ain't looking for you. In small towns, people will be somewhat friends, at least saying hi and bye. That's a lot more common and things like that. Now, I don't know what you guys' life is like, but as a person who's always lived in the big city, and I have laughed and joked at other towns I've been to where the downtown was a block long or something like that. That stuff is hilarious to me because I'm just from a big city with a bunch of people. I go to a small town and, first of all, you got to tell me we in downtown because I can't tell, you know what I'm saying? And that's not me trying to be against anybody's small town. Small towns are great. But I'm just saying, if you're going to do some stuff and you're going to end up having hostages for a long period of time, you probably want to do it in a small town. So it makes sense to me.
No, I can dig that.
Yeah.
Because it's some fishy stuff going on. That's all I could say.
Yeah, a whole lot of fish in this pond. That's real talk.
And then I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but I think that old lady is somebody who might have escaped from that facility.
Well, who knows how long it's been around? Or she might be the parent of somebody who went missing. You could do that too.
I know, man, they make her, she's a homeless lady, but I definitely know she knows a lot more than people, give her credit for. People just think she's a crazy homeless lady, but she knows something.
I think that lady know a lot. I think she's studying them. She may be coming off as a homeless person, but she's studying them. Because she already told what's his name, Tim. Oh, I seen you talking to such and such across the street. Why wouldn't I talk to him? He live in the building. So she already don't like him. So I don't know what he did at some point to piss off, but I don't really buy into she's just a crazy old lady. I don't really buy into that. I think she's there with a definite purpose. Now, I'm sure it will be revealed at some point. I think she's attached to somebody who was in that facility at some point.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But what about the chick, the black chick with the braids?
That was in the facility?
No, the one that was pretending to be a reporter. Oh, she was a reporter.
The one that's pretending to be a reporter. Because now I'm like,
journalist. Yeah.
Why would they have her floating around the town like that? You know what I mean? Just
because you need to kill her.
But I'm saying like so because I know the town gotta have something to do with it. So she seemed like she was just like just being at the bar because like you said, the downtown is only 3 blocks. They only got one bar, so they have her sitting in the bar, people talking too much while they drinking, and she like, oh word, all right, well let me get this one knocked up out of here, you know what I mean, and stuff like that.
Well, my thing is you gave her the perfect cover. She a reporter. She can go to where all the action is. You can find her, not that they're gonna do it, but you can find her next to a dead body, and you really wouldn't ask questions because she's a reporter.
Oh yeah, wow, right?
Yeah, she gets to go everywhere. She probably the person, especially by being some woman. You know what I'm saying? Because people ain't suspecting that women out here taking taking folks out like that.
Yeah, that part right there too. You got a valid point on that.
Yeah, she got to keep her ear to the streets. People will tell her rumors and things like that going on because she's a reporter. Well, let me tell you something I heard. I don't know, you might be able to do something with the information. So she gonna get to know anybody who suspects something, anybody talking a little too much, and she know how to make people go bye-bye. And nobody's gonna think it's her.
The reporter lady,
yeah, such and such died. She had a story that she did say could be dangerous. And I made sure it was dangerous. But nobody suspects me.
Yeah, they covering all. They out there covering all angles.
Yeah, that's why I say this institution is clearly nothing to be played with. Now, that's why my first mindset is it could even be government involved because there is a high bankroll in this situation. You're paying people yearly salaries. You got security officers. You got, the administration. All forms of the administration. You got to feed and clothe these kids for years at a time. It's some big bucks behind this stuff. So I don't know if they're going to put it with the government or some billionaire with just crazy billions of dollars, to justify what's going on. But it's something serious behind this, something big and serious behind this, because you can't have this stuff without a super fat bankroll. To me, this is like you do this when you have billions to spare.
Yeah, when you got a highly coordinated, sophisticated operation like that, yes, we're talking billions of dollars.
Yeah.
You can't get away. This is no small local biker gang doing anything, man. This is big time money, highly sophisticated. For these to have that facility there, the security there, those medications and chemicals, the research things to research, man, that takes a lot of money. And so yeah.
And you got to pay your scientists enough money to even figure out how to experiment.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is either government backed or billionaire backed. Maybe we find out who at some point. So the series, this, like I said, as a first episode in, I got to say, fantastic job, really. Because if the first episode don't get you, you just ain't too much out there that's gonna grab you. Because they put enough out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, it grabbed me up. I could definitely admit that.
So, all right. Well, we about to hit about a half hour mark, so I guess we're gonna wrap this one up. So, any last words, Jado?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing the next episode and talking about it with you guys.
All right, Shark. Any last words from you?
Everything Jado said, definitely.
And I'm gonna say shout out to Shark because there's some sharks in this show.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting to see how many of them get revealed. There's definitely some sharks in this show, y'all. This is a good one. So if you ain't watching, I highly recommend this one, y'all. I highly recommend this one. Okay, so this is Jado, Shark, and Roger. I'm your host, and we are out of here.
Peace.